This is just a quick update to show you that I'm still working on the guest room makeover a little bit. You can see those shelves on the wall there, they're coming down. They've got a lot of my wife's fake Hummels on them, and we decided it was time to take them down, and along with some shelves that are on the wall, an old mirror and some old hooks on the wall, and the dog sign will stay. So there it is. I pulled down all the shelves and curtains and everything else, and going back, patching up the holes. I got some pretty big tears out of the sheetrock and some outlet box holes. I had to move those wires from over there over to another spot. I'll show you in a second. But, so basically it's just a matter of prepping all the walls and getting everything ready to go. Now the ceiling, it needed a little bit of a touch up on it, so I decided to repaint that. And you can see I'm using a brush there. Most people would use a roller, but there's a real high definition in how they textured the ceiling there, and I really like the way you can brush out the edges and stuff when you do it by hand with a brush, and kind of keep the sharpness of the pattern there, where when you use a roller on stuff like that, it sort of disappears a little bit. Kind of paint fills in and rounds off the edges, so I don't mind taking the time to, go through and do it with a brush. I did find some paint, though. The ceiling paint that I'm using is actually from Walmart. I went in there and I was walking around. I looked at their paint and I picked up one of the cans and I found one that was like the cheapest paint they had, but actually it has a 0 VOC if you look at the label on it. And I asked the guy at the counter, is that right? And he's like, yeah, it's a it's like a super low VOC, and it's a good paint, and in the end it absolutely had no smell whatsoever, so I was really glad that I picked that. Then the time to get everything all taped off and everything prepped to get ready to paint the walls, and I had to put on a couple coats of compound and then go back and sand between the coats and stuff. And, finally I was ready to start putting on the paint. We picked a green color that's called Moss Print, and it's that bear paint again from Home Depot that I used before, because I had really good luck with the, the low odor that it has, and it has a real low VOC also, and it also covers really good. So I did the whole room and it covered well with one coat, even with those the spots that had been plastered over. So I'm real happy with the way it came out. And then it was time to deal with some new lamps, because I wasn't happy with the old ones. They didn't go with the look I'm going for now, so I got lucky, and at Home Depot, I found some nickel-plated lamps that were just what I was looking for, marked down from like $22 to $5. And I got these. These were really expensive punched metal lamp shades that I got at my dollar store for $1 each. So for a total of $6 I got two new lamps that were the exact look that I was looking for in the room. So there's the lights, and then I went back, and if you remember the headboard that I made last year, I finished up the adjustable leveling feet on there. You can see they're all adjustable with those wooden threads and stuff. And I also went back and I sanded that down and did the final sanding and waxing on the entire headboard so I could put that together now. So you can see this kind of gave it that final look like machine leveling feet that I put on there. So, that was done, and I'm hanging a new TV up on the wall, and I had to pull the wires up from the other location there where I had plugged the holes. And this here is one of the handiest things I've ever bought. It's a fiberglass wire running kit I got at Harbor Freight, and I got it about 10 years ago to run wires in a trailer frame that I couldn't get to thread through the frame because of rust and stuff, and it has turned out to be the handiest thing ever for pulling network cables and electrical cables and antenna cables through the wall to get them in the location you want. Just like 10 pieces that are 3 feet long, they screw together, extremely flexible, and they really do work great. If you do any cable pulling or anything like that, I really have to recommend this. And I think I only paid $6 for it 10 years ago. Now, for mounting the new TV, I just picked up a really cheap $9 wall mount at Walmart, and it really was a good deal, I think. It came with all the hardware needed, and I got the TV in place very easily. And then you can see there where I took and I made a couple pieces of ash sides to hide the wires. I didn't like how when you walked in the room you actually could see behind and see the wires and the outlet behind the TV. So, I made these sides, and they do a good job of hiding everything. And luckily there were no vents on the sides of the TV, and the bottom and top of this are open, so there is good airflow, and it shouldn't affect the TV. Then it had an old fan in the room that actually was quite noisy. It made this really humming vibration sound whenever we turned it on, and that had to go. And I did find one with a look that I was looking for at Lowe's, and the salesman guaranteed me that it would be quiet and wouldn't make any noise or anything, or I could bring it back. So that's a fan that we picked out, and seeing how there was a ceiling fan box up there already, this was like the easiest fan I have ever mounted. It took all of about maybe 15 minutes to get it up and together, and sure enough, it's dead silent when running. All you can hear is a little bit of the air movement, but it really is great, and it did come with a remote control to operate it also, so I'm real happy with that fan. So you can see, slowly but surely, everything's starting to come together. Now, there's still a shelf that I have to build for over the bed there to replace that old red one, but that's, in the future. And pretty much we still have window treatment to decide on, and some rugs to decide on for the floor, but basically, that's about the start of it. The one thing that we did, want to replace is we had this big old reclining chair in the corner of the room that took up a lot of room, and it just didn't go anymore in there. So I went online and I found a chair on Amazon, actually, that they shipped to my house, and you can see FedEx tore the box up, but luckily everything was in good shape, and the chair just so happened to be the exact look that I was going for, and it's kind of a industrial look, and it's got just a very simple swivel mechanism on it, and 4 real simple straight legs. It assembled in all of about 5 minutes. I had the chair together, and it fit in the corner, and actually made the room look about 3 times as big. So it turned out to be a nice little sitting chair, and you can see it goes good with the parquet floor and everything in there. And it just doesn't take much room, and it actually goes good with the bedspread set that we got. So there you can see a pillow and an extra blanket from it. And there's a bedspread that I picked up, and this is bringing the silver in the room. And, it's kind of toward the industrial look that I'm going for. So pretty much I still have another dresser to build, another live edge dresser for the other side, and actually I have to build the shelf for over the bed. That's going to be live edge walnut, and then I also have to build another little rack to replace that other one. So you can pretty much see that, I still am working on it whenever I get a couple minutes, and hopefully I'll have some more videos showing it finished up soon. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.